All right, guys, we're here. We're live. Welcome back. Another Poker Life. Well, technically, this isn't a Poker Life podcast. This is a podcast live stream. I'm back here with my buddy Asher. I had him on live. We were in San Diego back a couple weeks ago. We did something live on the balcony out there, if you guys remember that one. And we're back here. We both went to Coachella Music Festival last weekend. For those that don't know what Coachella is, it's like this. How would you describe Coachella? It's like this,
Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival. So I think it started out more as like an indie, not really Burning Man, but like in that genre. And it's just
wait a second, hold on. Let's talk about what you're wearing first and why you're wearing it. So I actually don't like. So okay, so just for those that don't know, my Asher's one of my buddies. I've been friends with him for a couple years now. I met him through a very I met him somehow in San Diego a while ago, and we've been friends for a while. We went to Spain together. He's responsible for me. He's responsible for me for some of my vices, some of my better moments, and for me living in Australia because
that was like the time when it started it all, right? I'm going to move in here to the living room. That's the time where really like you started going crazy is in Spain, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever like raged before?
Not really, no. Spain was the first time in Ibiza.
Have you ever done any narcotic?
I don't know. We're not making any allegations. We're not making any speculations, anything like that in this podcast. I put this on Facebook. I said that anyone, like regular people, can watch this podcast because most of my stuff is usually done about talking about poker, but we're actually not going to talk much poker today. So
no poker.
It could be cool. We're also live streaming this, guys, on YouTube. If you have any questions, comments, leave them in the chat. My boy Bruno's out there. What's up, Bruno?
Is Bruno from Brazil?
Bruno, yeah, it's my friend from Brazil. He's a lawyer. He just quit his job.
What's up, Bruno?
So Coachella. What's Coachella?
Coachella is just a music festival at this point, right? I mean, there's really no two ways to cut it. Besides, it's like an EDC for an electronic daisy carnival for more mainstream and indie music, and then they've also begun over the past few years to cater to the electronic scene. It's so big at the moment.
Yeah, kind of. So what I thought about Coachella before was that it was this like music festival right outside LA. So it's a lot of California people. It's a lot of people dressed the same. It's a lot of attractive girls, attractive guys, some like rock music that I don't really listen to, and then some electronic mixed in there and all this kind of stuff. Actually, I didn't know what to expect from it, but who did you go there with? You said you went with some, what did you say you went with?
I went with a group of sort of general San Diego bosses, non-poker people.
I love how you call like a group of people bosses. You're like, oh, they're just a group of bosses.
Well, they're generally just like, yeah, definitely very, very wealthy sputards in real life. So
did you wear that hat around the bosses, or was the hat not involved?
I actually didn't wear this hat at all because it's a little too warm. I do have a good hat story that I'll tell later, and I did wear some hats, but this one seemed the most outlandish. There are some other ones that are at the dry cleaners right now, so trying to get redeemed from the dirtiness. So this is really the only one that was on tap.
I think that Spirit Head's playing great. By the way, I've been saying your phrase playing great. I said that about probably like 135 times this weekend. So I really appreciate you putting that phrase into my life.
I don't think that I'm the first one to use it, but if I popularized it for the Joe Ingram podcast, then I'll claim that.
Is that what they're called, Joe Ingram podcast? Oh, yeah, we're on iTunes finally, guys. Links in the description below.
Yeah, dude, I'm finally going to start watching every or listening to every episode religiously now. It's good. I'm stoked.
All right, so Coachella, how'd you get there? Did you tried to tell me we should helicopter there, and so we would take a helicopter from San Diego to Coachella, and then you wanted to come back on Sunday night after it closed, and I couldn't be able to do that. So how did you get there?
So I ended up just hiring a driver, and we drove out with the driver, which was fine. It was fun. Definitely do a helicopter next year. I don't think people grasped the concept of what I was going for. And then when we got there and I was like, yeah, the helicopter could have landed like right here. Then everyone was like, wait, I thought we were going to take a helicopter one night or something. So I sort of failed communicating because people would have paid like 4 or 5 times what the proposed amount was for a helicopter. And it would have looked ridiculously rich. I mean, it is ridiculously rich.
So as someone who's actually helicoptered home from a music festival before, EDC, mm-hmm. I think it's a little bit, I think for EDC, it wasn't necessarily worth it, even though the traffic is really bad coming home. But It takes you to the Vegas, like a Vegas section of the airport, and you still have to taxi or Uber back to your actual hotel. There, it would have taken.
You paid $1,200 round trip, right?
I don't remember, dude. I was fucked up.
Yeah, it's $600 each way. It's $1,200, right? $1,200 for the entire weekend, going from San Diego to Coachella, all the helicopter rides around Coachella, and then Coachella back to San Diego. That whole entire trip would have been about $1,200. So you definitely
had a personal helicopter just helicoptering you around Coachella.
Exactly. Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so you decided to hire a driver, and you guys drove out there. Where'd you guys stay?
We stayed in a house about a mile away from the festival. The house was cool, 5-bedroom, 5-bath type house, pool, in a nice neighborhood. It wasn't like ridiculously extravagant by any stretch. I think I didn't book the house personally, but you know, it was solid for sure.
So when I did it, I was bringing my little brother with, obviously, Tutu Andrew Cole, aka Little Bro, aka Big Dog, aka Stallion, aka Yardstick, because he's got some new nicknames after this weekend. But I took him with me. He couldn't camp. He's only 15. I didn't want to stay at a house with somebody like you because, once again, he's only 15. And in this house that you guys do, I know there's sometimes crazy things happening in these houses when you're around. So I booked one of these hotel packages that came with like a hotel, a shuttle. And unfortunately, I was unfamiliar with the layout of Coachella, and I didn't realize that this festival would be like, or the hotel would be like 35 minutes away. It was a really nice place.
Whoa.
Yeah, so we had
Where were you at?
We were in at a Marriott Shadow Ridge, which was in like Palm Desert.
Oh.
Yeah, wasn't playing great, but still, it was. How much was what?
How was the shuttle? Was it a fail?
The shuttle going there was fine. The shuttle coming back, they dropped off at 2 places before that, so it was like it was like basically an hour getting home each night at like 1 a.m. after your bit.
The shuttles depart?
They depart all the time. It was super efficient. Okay. Like I would definitely get it again if I got a hotel a little bit closer, because I thought Coachella ran the shuttle program, everything like super effectively.
Yeah.
So we did that, and my brother and obviously Ebony was there. Ebony, the black girl that everyone needs an Ebony in their life, just to see everyone interact. Ebony, because Ebony's this girl. She's short. She's got the, you know, the booty happening. She's got the outfits. She's got the hair. So when she interacts with these black guys, what'd you say?
Doesn't she have pink hair?
Yeah, she has pink hair. And when she interacts with black dudes, like I would just pay to watch her interact with black people all the time. Like girls, guys, they all love her. They're all like,
"What's up, shawty?"
Well, they kind of do say things like that. But obviously at Coachella, there's a lot of white people there, so didn't get to see too much fun interacting there, unfortunately. But yeah, so we did the hotel package, and I don't know. I would have. Do you ever camp?
I haven't. Honestly, this was my first year actually attending Coachella. I've been out there for the past 6 or 7 years, but I've never gone to the festival. I've always just hung out at a nice house and just hung with friends, etc. For like a day. I don't know if I could do it for longer than a day though, man. Because you have to be really in the rage mindset, right? Like there is nothing to do if you're camping besides rage.
Yeah, I'm not very been
you could go hang out by a pool, you could go drive to a restaurant, whatever, if you're in a house. But if you're camping, you wake up from what is expected to be a really shitty amount of sleep. People running around your tent the entire time, screaming, yelling, cavorting, and then you're up, and then it's fucking hot, and you got nothing to do besides party.
Let's say you couldn't afford to camp, or if you couldn't afford to do like a hotel or Airbnb or something like that. Do you think you'd still camp, or would you just not go?
I have no clue.
I don't think you would go.
I'd probably jumped off the balcony if I couldn't afford. So I wouldn't go. I don't think I'd go. The money of going to Coachella would be valuable enough to me to where I'd be doing something else with it.
That's true. Vova asked, was Tupac performing this year? Unfortunately, Tupac's hologram was not there.
I've met the guy who programmed the Tupac hologram, though, actually. I've been in his house before. That stuff's pretty up and coming.
Hologram? The holograph?
I've met that guy before, yeah. He wanted to do a hologram for a client that I was working with, actually. And the interesting thing is all these deals that artists and actors are signing now, they're signing 360 deals, right? Which means they sign the rights away to their hologram. So eventually holograms are going to get good enough. Everybody's thinking about this, like with Paul Walker, the most recent, the Fast and Furious 7 or whatever. I haven't seen it yet, but the vast majority of him in that movie, or at least a significant portion of him in that movie, is not really him acting. It's just all CGI, hologram, everything within that vignette, right? So, and all these actors are looking at their contracts now, and they're realizing that, like, they could produce a Fast 8 and not pay any of the actors if they wanted to, because they signed their rights away to that franchise. So I guess none of the actors would get paid, and nobody would know it wasn't, like, there would be no difference in end product. Very interesting times we're entering into.
That sounds kind of
Sorry, that's a massive tangent. But
I know. That sounds like a topic all on its own. Marco says something about why am I not twitching? I'm not twitching anymore. I'm not twitching right now, or I don't know if I'll twitch in the future. I might do it randomly, but I didn't want to do the 750-day challenge anymore. It was kind of boring. Twitch is boring. Twitch is what wasn't. I lagged for a bit. I really like.
Seem to cater to the finest of people on the internet.
I think Twitch is just like, I understand like the power behind Twitch and people. I think there's enough people streaming poker now, and everyone's doing Twitch that like I should focus on doing other type of poker content that's not Twitch related, because everyone's already doing Twitch.
Isn't it?
What'd you say?
Twitch is just full of trolls, isn't it?
Well, I'm pretty. They call me Kim Jong Joey because of my banhammer, and I like to control my empire and my kingdom in a very thorough and strict way. So I kept my chat relatively solid for the most part. Like, yeah, Kim Jong Joey, that was my name. My name was photoshopped on a picture of Kim Jong Un's head. So that's kind of the reputation I built up for loving.
Good. Power to you. I think that's smart.
Okay, so Coachella, I went there. It was like, you know, I realized something about this trip was that this is the first music festival I've really done where I was, I say this, I was sober at the music festival. Okay, I've never done a sober music festival.
The entire time, do you drink?
I drank. Well, I'm with my little brother, and at Coachella they had these weird things where you have to be in a you have to be in a beer section to actually be drinking, but you have to be 21 to get in the section. So he had to sit outside when me and Ebony went in there and would like drink like 2 drinks, and then we. Yeah, I couldn't really get drunk, and what I've noticed is that I can't really. I mean, I didn't really enjoy the music unless I really like the music. But when you're drinking or when you're raging, you usually can enjoy almost any music. You're just having a good time. But I noticed that I really couldn't do that unless I was.
Yeah. So anything else? Just some light alcohol use the trip?
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Wow. Huh.
I know it's like I know.
Would you do it again?
What?
Would you do it again?
Would I do Coachella, specifically this lineup this year again?
Would you do Coachella next year with like another lineup similar in terms of the number of people and are psyched to see, etc.
Depends who I went with.
Go and do it Sober Sally.
Depends who I went with. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't think I like enough of the music to really like want to go, and like I'm not really into the whole.
Who were you stoked to see?
Drake and Alesso. That's probably it.
I missed Alesso, dude. I was really bummed. Everybody I was with wanted to see AC/DC.
You know what? If my group said, "Hey, we're gonna go see AC/DC," I'd have looked at them, looked back at at Alesso, the Sahara tent, looked at them, and said, "Not gonna be able to do it." And then I would have went over to Alesso and been, "You guys go over to AC. You guys walk over to AC/DC. Enjoy yourselves, man."
Did you see Porter Robinson?
I did. That was one of the worst sets I've ever seen in my life live. I know that's his live show. So Porter Robinson has this. He has a very slower pace, less drops as a typical festival, and it was the same as live show that was in concert. But
I saw his live show in concert. It was probably one of the best shows I've ever seen.
That's the kind of show you need to be on. You kind of, I mean, I don't want to settle on it. I'm not trying to advocate any usage for anyone out there that's on the fence about potentially, engaging in some activities at music events. But I think that's the kind of event you need. I mean, it's preferred if you really don't, you got to either really like his music or.
Yeah, I think I could definitely go to I would really enjoy Porter regardless of state of sobriety, because I really enjoy his music. But I think the new album's just really, really good. But yeah, his live show when I saw him in San Diego was absolutely phenomenal. I don't remember any of it. from Friday night, though, unfortunately.
Volva said, does your brother like Ebony? Was there any brother on brother action? So that was actually interesting. So my brother's 15. Ebony's, she's a 32-year-old woman, but she's a lot of fun. And it was enjoyable watching my little brother interact with Ebony because, my little brother, he's kind of like, he's kind of I don't want to, a little bit dorky kind of guy, so, but he tries hard. He dances really well. He always wore the Spirit hoodie. He had on these cool blue shades and a Coachella t-shirt, and he was getting it. So the best interaction this weekend was he's dancing with the Spirit hood on. These group of girls, these little Asian girls come up. They start dancing they got a Spirit hood on. They're dancing with Andrew like this. So he's dancing, having a time. Her eyes, she's just like this, like the typical like the fucked up look. And she's like, and they're having a good time. She's like, "What are you on?" And he's like, "I'm 15 and I'm sober." And she just looks at him and just turns around and walks away. I'm like, why would you? What did you do that? Why did you say that? Like, just tell her you're on something. Just say I'm on you, or I'm on life, or I'm on this, I'm on that. And he's like, no man. I'm like, what are you doing? What the fuck? I'm like, what are you talking about right now? You guys were dancing. You're having a good time. And yeah, he's like, I need to honor my dad's wishes of not talking to girls.
Well, he showed them.
It's just like,
that's funny.
Yeah, and dude, yeah, I don't know. So I don't know if he's my actual brother. I'm not sure. He can't be related to me with an attitude like that. I'm not sure, but yeah. Did you have any?
He enjoyed it, the experience overall.
I think so. I mean, when you're 15, it seems like it's hard not to enjoy like a music festival in a different state where you get to dance and have a good time.
Yeah. Totally a unique experience for him in terms of
what was your group like? Was it all guys? Was it some girls mixed in? Was it like a GTO mixture of people together?
Yeah, it was a fairly GTO mixture. I think there was there were too many people in the house. So the way it worked is that like the house was sold to people who had bedrooms or were chopping a bedroom with another person. And so that group was really good, well connected, knew each other, wanted to have a good time. And then the rest of the house was invaded by tons of other people who were sleeping on the floor. So in a house with like 5 bedrooms and 7 or 8 people paying, there were then like 25, 30 people in the common area. And they were cranking the music the entire night and then the entire morning. There were a couple of people who didn't sleep at all. And that was a little rough.
I hate that, man.
Far too big of a group to like take anywhere. So
so you know the hack to sleep in that situation, right? Well, I mean, I think you actually might know the hack to sleep in
well, I'll tell you what I did. I took 2 Unisoms and 2
Yes.
I think I taught you this hack, dude.
Oh my God, you did. So you definitely taught me this because we were in Spain and like I was, and it's always hard to sleep after a night of raging, as some people might know. And you were like, hey, why don't you take sleeping pills? And I'm like, listen, I don't want to advocate sleeping pills. That shit can be addictive to some people. But man, it works so well at times like that.
Yeah, I'm doing podcasts. You can make brief guest appearance here. What up, bro?
What's up, Flo? Puppy.
Well, I just got home from a hard day's worth of work. What I do is I take 2 Unisoms, which is double the recommended dosage, and then a couple melatonin, and then you just conk out, and your toes get all like curled up, the arches of your feet like sort of ball up. At least mine do. And then like your eyes sort of like just stream water out of them. I don't know, but it's and I put up sleep mask. The sleep mask is crucial.
I know. You saw how I slept on the couch at your guys' place. I took 2 Unisoms. I had the sleep mask on, and I put the noise canceling headphones on.
I could have used a pair of noise canceling headphones. I typically try to put a podcast in to go to sleep. That's the other thing, because you need something where like your mind can focus on it and not just wander, and then it just slowly like drifts off.
Well, Ebony kept snoring, so I put my headphones in and I went to rainymood.com. It like simulates rain and thunder. So I was listening to that, and that really helped me sleep because Ebony just kept snoring like a.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, she was snoring. Matt Campbell says next level Eskimo bros. Me and my little not me and my little brother. Not next level Eskimo bros quite yet. I told I'm not gonna say I told my little brother. Does he remind me of at 15? Definitely. I mean, kind of some ways, but when it comes to girls, no, not at all.
Were you girl happy at 15?
Who isn't girl happy at 15? Well, maybe you were in the cult, so you didn't necessarily.
Well, okay, you could be girl happy, meaning you're into girls, but were you like crazy outgoing and?
I think I was more of like the funny guy who was really skinny and didn't like.
Or first time you kissed a girl? How old were you?
I think like 13 or 12 or something.
Okay, so you're getting it.
I was playing okay. I mean, I could have been playing better, but I was playing okay.
Okay.
I was playing okay. When's the first time you kissed a girl? It's 6, 17? Higher?
Yeah.
God damn. Well, you weren't a cult.
18.
We have to preface that by saying you were in a cult growing up, aka being homeschooled. So you weren't necessarily out there meeting women.
No, I was definitely meeting. There were definitely opportunities. I just didn't know what to do with them.
I told my little brother that. I was like, listen, if a girl sat on your lap at Coachella, you would literally have no idea what you just sit there. He's like, no, man, I've watched porn before. I know what I would do. I was like, listen.
Oh yeah, so you just immediately start to go to the porn moves if they sit on you.
I'm like, what are you gonna do? Take her down and pile drive? What are you gonna do? Like, what's porn gonna? Yeah, I don't know, man. We got our boy BW, aka Brian Wilbur, in the chat. He says Unisom is just 2x dose of Benadryl.
Oh yeah, that's sort of the same thing. I'm actually rocking the man bun. I don't know if you can see this effectively or not, but I'll can you see that effectively?
I saw it, man. It looks good.
Yeah, there we go. There's a good side. I can see the side profile. That's this is another. We'll get to this in here. Festival GTO paraphernalia, but that's an homage to Brian, who's been rocking it.
Oh, Brian's been rocking the Beckham. His girlfriend must be.
Yeah, he's full time man bun.
Wow. Okay. So, how was your experience at the festival? How was it going with that group of people that you didn't quite know? Because I like to go with a group of people I know are going to be fun and are going to be at that. Whereas you kind of went the big mixture. It sounds like various different people.
There ended up being a core group of people who really clicked, really liked each other, and sort of the people who were like paying for the house more or less. And then the other people just sort of did their own thing, and we tried to just ditch and abandon them as much as possible. It worked out well. It's always weird when you go and rage with people who you've never raged with in the past.
Yeah.
Because I get like a little bit in my own head of like, wait, am I like behaving normal and more kosher or not? But we had a really good mix of guys and girls, and everything ended up working out pretty well. You want me to walk you through like what I did the weekend?
Let's hear it, man. Give us a little venture into that you and the bosses. So let's see what you and the bosses did.
All right, so Friday, we leave Friday afternoon. People were doing some work and stuff, so we left a little bit later. We had a driver who drove us out. We rented a big, black Suburban. And so we drive out. Driver drives us out. People are sort of working. Pulled over at one point, bought a couple handles of alcohol, started to drink. We had some girls with us. They want to bust out the narcotics. So we're driving through the mountains. The boys are talking business. The girls are partying. Get out there and get packed into the house. The house is already just a total shit show. They did a Costco run and they bought like $2,000 worth of alcohol. I mean, unbelievable. Just handles everywhere. And then we went to the festival Friday, and everybody decided to go pretty hard on Friday. We ended up, Friday I went too hard. I think a lot of people went too hard. So we get back to the house. Getting back to the house was a total disaster. You guys had the shuttle, so you didn't experience this, but it's really difficult to get to a spot within the festival where you can actually find and meet a car. A bunch of the roads are shut down. There's the festival grounds itself, which is very large. And then outside the festival grounds, you've got all these people camping and all this other stuff going on. So we ended up walking like 5 miles trying to meet up with our driver, never actually finding our driver, and just ending up walking all the way home. So that was incredibly tiring. We got home, went in the pool, hot tub. Everybody's sort of starting to decompress. And I was just like, okay, I'm just going to force myself to go to sleep because this is day 1 of day 3, right? And
this was Friday night.
This is Friday night, or now we're into early Saturday morning. It's like 3, 4 a.m. And if you don't sleep, your body has no opportunity to recover. And the other thing that people massively underrate is eating. You got to eat. Because like you just effectively ran or walked probably like 10, 15 miles total between dancing and the festival and whatever else. So yeah, you got to replenish your body. So I forced myself to eat some stuff, pop the sleeping pills. There were some other people who were still going out of their mind. And so I just go to sleep.
Okay, so some words on that. So I think what people do at these music festivals like Coachella is that a lot of people that work or have regular jobs, this is like their time. They're like, I'm gonna go as hard as I can. I'm not gonna sleep. I'm just gonna get I'm just going crazy because this is like their one time that they can, it's like their freedom. This is like their vacation sort of thing. So I think that's why a lot of people go. So
yeah, but I mean, if you don't, your body physically is not capable of you can't sleep or stay up straight for 48 hours and then not just go out the next night and party and dance, et cetera, et cetera.
No, I definitely agree. I mean, I think when I first started my festivals, I was pretty bad at managing it, and now I think, yeah,
there's a healthy balance between being a nit and missing out on opportunity, but also prepping your body. I did get in a really interesting spot on Friday night where I think I had an opportunity to have a threesome and messed it up.
You what? Hold on, what was that?
I think I had an opportunity to have a threesome and messed it up.
People watching this there are really people watching this that might you might not the stalkers. Shout out to the stalkers, by the way, that are watching this that that don't interact with either me or Asher. I got a lot of love. I appreciate the support from the stalkers, but there'll be people watching it that go ahead, tell us more.
I don't really have much more to say. I didn't know how to turn a 2-girl, 1-guy situation in my bedroom into a sexual situation.
You know who would have knew how to turn that into a sexual situation?
You.
No, Flo. Flo would have known how to turn that into a sexual.
Flo definitely would have.
The guy on the couch next to you. You got to get some GTO tips from him on situations like that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Flo to lock the door.
Yeah, Flo said lock the door, and then that would probably help. And either at that point it would either click or wouldn't click.
I mean, at that point in time, it's like a Hail Mary situation. You just throw something out there. What's the worst that happens? I don't know.
Well, I just sort of backed into it because I really wanted a massage because my back was killing me. So I'm getting a massage and then they're massaging and it was I was I froze.
What? So wait a sec. Let me get this straight. You're getting people are massaging other people, and you got what happened? You got nervous or what?
So what would you do in that spot?
Well, Asher, as someone that may or may not have been in a spot like that before in my life, you just what can you do in that spot, man? You you take a shot if you're nervous, and you get to work.
What's the shot though? I didn't know what the move was.
Were you romantic with one of the girls previously?
Okay, but then it's just awkward for the third person.
So the third person's a random person?
You should say something to get those 2 girls to engage.
Is the third person random?
Define random.
Does anybody know her previously?
Yes, yeah.
Know her in a friendly way or
the 2 girls were roommates. And one of the girls has had girl on girl, no guy before.
Okay, so would you say their mind was in a sober state of mind, or would you say their mind was in a?
I was the most sober one there, and that was part of my problem. I was a little self-conscious because I was wait, I know I'm not in a sober state of mind right now, and so I need to make sure I think through my actions.
There ain't no thinking going in that situation, bro. You start fucking putting your hand out there on people and throwing a little mouth action that way, I think. Well, that's kind of sounded a little bit derogatory in a way. But I mean, what do you got to lose, right?
Well, I mean, I could make the entire weekend ridiculously awkward for sure.
Yeah, that's true. Never mind. Well, you know what? I probably would have tried doing something with the girl you were romantic with, and then or just jokingly said man, you guys ever had a threesome? And then if they get mad, you just start laughing I've never done that before. I would never do something like that.
Yeah.
And then they might be well, they might start talking about it. And then all of a sudden.
I was just so self-conscious about not being sober that I was worried about saying something that was really foolish. And in retrospect, that probably wasn't that foolish. But it's not the first time. Honestly, like my first ever sexual encounter, I could have had a threesome and I yipped out. They were like proposing one and I didn't do it.
You said not gonna be able to do it. That's what you said, man. It's all right. It happens. It happens. Asher, you're young. You're a young guy. Listen, I got a couple of years on you still. You're a young guy. You'll check that list off on the bucket list of Asher Burke one day, my friend.
Dude, I don't know what's gonna happen, dude. I might just get too old and get married before that happens.
Man, this is turning depressing. Volva asked a question. He said Coachella or Ultra or Tomorrowland. Definitely Coachella would be third on that mixture for me personally. I'd say Tomorrowland's first and Ultra second.
Yeah, I would holler at Tomorrowland. Hey, I gotta take a piss real quick. Could you talk to Flo for like 3 seconds?
Of course, man. Let's get some shout outs.
Yeah, I was just falling asleep. What up, bro?
Oh, Flo, what's up? Welcome. All right, guys. We got Flo back on. Flo's on the podcast right now. Welcome, Flo. How are you doing?
I was this close to falling asleep, man.
How's the nightlife of San Diego been? So Flo, guys, if you don't know Flo, he's the king of San Diego nightlife. He plays at the highest stakes at the San Diego's. If you ever go to a club and you'll see the nicest table, you'll see Flo there.
Actually, I've been taking a little break. I actually did I did this personal development workshop in Vegas this past weekend. We'll see what happens this weekend. We have Omnia opening up end of the month though. That's gonna be ridiculous.
Yeah, that's this club that came out in Vegas, and now it's also going to be in San Diego. So it's like San Diego's first like super nightclub sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely. The lineup is just ridiculous. I just got an email for like the month of May. It's nuts.
Yeah, dude, Armin's coming in a couple weeks, Joey.
Armin's gonna be on Thursday. So
yeah, it's literally.
I like your place. It looks pretty sick.
Oh, this is the podcast background, my friend. This is what I normally have in the background here.
Okay. Nice.
What was the personal development class in Vegas? What was that about?
Yeah, it's called Choice Center. There's a nice little plug. So I went because Tony Moreno, poker player.
Yeah, is he married to Christy?
No,
that's his brother.
Oh, okay.
He's the first one that went, and big poker following. So Johnny is like kind of like a reserved, like sheepish kind of person. He came out of this like ultra motivated and just like attacking life and like setting goals, reaching goals, just crushing, right? And I'm kind of in a spot in life where I could use a little like kick in the butt for motivation. So he was like, "You have to do this," and I trusted him and I wanted motivation, so I went. And I just like discovered a ton of great stuff aside from that, like more important things about my life, and just got like incredible value for it. So the first weekend is called Discovery. It's 4 days. I'm going back next week, and it's called Breakthrough. And from what I'm hearing, the second weekend is like 100x value and like impact on your life. So it's nuts. All I can say is that like I'm super skeptical about these kind of programs because they just like prey on the weak and like the desperate. And so it literally took one of my best friends who I trust telling me like go and like hyping it up, and I was like, okay, we'll see. And like the hype is real. Like I can
know a bunch of other people who have gone to.
They've all.
When I had Dan DeGrano on a podcast, he talked about this for like 15, 20 minutes basically. He was talking about Choice Center positives and basically how similar type of things you just said.
Yeah, it's definitely. So I highly recommend it and the thing about it is like, it's literally, there's something for everyone, like, yes, there's people there that are like brokenhearted or have like whatever issues, but I didn't think I had issues. I was just like, yeah, I'll go to get some motivation. And I found out all these little things that I could work on. And it's all about just, you come out like a better version of yourself, so it's great.
Means I gotta go Choice Center. Choice Center is a big topic in the poker world because there's so much like they think it's like a cult, and because kid poker, Daniel Grano is always talking about it and stuff. So
yeah, I might go. I know so many people now who have gone, and I was ridiculously skeptical. I told Flo it was a scam at first, but having interacted with a lot of people who are behaving significantly differently since having gone, then I don't know, maybe there's something to this. Yeah, that's what it is. It's GAT, group awareness therapy. It's like a psychological technique.
I probably got to try it at some point in time just because everyone that I've talked to about it speaks very positive about it. So I might as well give it a shot at some point and see what happens.
It's a time commitment and it's a financial commitment too. I mean, it's 2 4-day weekends.
Your life is a big commitment.
It's like $2,000, right?
All right, so.
Okay, so just a couple question in the chat was from Warfred. He said, it'd be cool if you can get Jay Rosencrantz on a podcast. He's coming on a podcast on 27th April at 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to have Krantz on. Krantz is an old school legend of poker, and he lives in New York City right now, I believe, and we're going to see what he's up to. Stuart says, loving the YouTube title, genius, GTO Cella. Thanks, Stuart, for giving me that title on Twitter, by the way. I appreciate that. Okay, so where are we at? We were talking about day one was that. How did day 2 and day 3 go from there? Day 2 and day 3 go for you?
Okay, so Saturday I wake up after what's some pretty poor slumber, and most of the people, actually, yeah, all the people in the group haven't slept yet. And by in the group, I mean like the core group that I'm hanging out.
There's the core 7 group, and then there's the 25 stragglers that are sleeping on the
I don't think anybody slept, to be honest, because even the people who are trying to sleep in the living room haven't been able to sleep because they've been pumping music, etc. So I drive 30 minutes to get to a Jamba Juice because after raging, my vocal cords are shot. And I don't know if you get this, but if I eat food, it gets like stuck in these cavities that have been created in the back of your throat, and it hurts like none other. So I have to drink something liquid in order to get food down and like get those back to normal. I'm pretty sure there are other people, everybody who I talk to knows about this thing. So anyway, so I drive 30 minutes to Jamba Juice because it's my only option to get like some sustenance in my body.
Wait, why didn't you get that sick app that you showed me that delivers things to you? Post it. It delivers.
Postmates does not work in Las Vegas, unfortunately. And so I could have sent the driver, but I just wanted to get out of the house for a little while, and so the driver and I both went. We grabbed Jamba Juice, grabbed some breakfast burritos, came back, ate, and then eventually the day goes by, and
wait a second. Wait. What happened in that threesome? So the girls, what happened? They fall asleep? How'd that end, actually?
We watched TV.
Fuck are you turning on a TV for, Asher? What are you?
There were people coming in and out pretty frequently too, which is why let's not dwell on my failures. So we have to go to get bracelets for this party. You guys can look it up, called Neon Carnival.
I saw it. It was very celeb filled.
Yeah, it's thrown by a production company called Bolt House. If any of you guys watch The Hills, the company that Heidi first went to work for, I think in season 1 or season 2, Brent Bolthouse. That's a real company. They're a very large party throwing company, and Bolthouse throws this party every year. It's free to attend if you're on the list. Incredibly strict security, and so I had a contact who had gotten us on the list. You're supposed to go. There's 4 days of wristband pickup, 2 days in LA, and then 2 days in Palm Springs. And you can go and they check you off the list and they put a wristband on your wrist, and you have to wear that wristband all the way until Saturday night. It's supposed to be like a big after party for Coachella. So we go to the Hard Rock, which is like back where you were staying, about 30 minutes away, and we get there and no one is there, and it's like Neon Carnival ticket pickup closed, and they're supposed to be open until 6, and it's like 5, and we're like, what's going on? So I call a contact who's in DC, and he's like, oh, I heard they ran out of tickets. You're just going to have to show up to the event early and get in line or whatever. And I'm like, oh, boy, this is a joke. So we go back. Some more girls had joined our group and who didn't have tickets, so we went and bought some tickets, and then we went to the festival. There was nobody really on Saturday who I was particularly excited to see. I think people were really interested in Jack White. All I know about Jack White is, have you heard about his guacamole incident?
No, I don't.
If you Google Jack White guacamole, basically he played a show for a college, and the college leaked his writer out, and it has all these absurd requests about like what flavor of water and like how many bottles will be set and the size of the bottles. And the most absurd request by far was this recipe for homemade guacamole that they attached. Anyway, they're like, at 5:35, you will put the bowl of guacamole in the green room, and you will remove the cellophane at 5:37. And it has a recipe for this guacamole. It's like, do not add the tomatoes till after you've added the onions. and then mash, but don't overmatch. Anyway, so that's all I know about Jack White, that he's a picky motherfucker. We stayed and watched him, and then we sort of bounced early because we wanted to get to this. We wanted to get in line, ensure we got in to the festival or to the Neon Carnival, right? So there we are. We're at Neon Carnival. We get dropped off. We're getting out of our car, and the car starts to like pull off while I'm still getting out of the back seat. And I like maul over I don't know which one of the Jonas Brothers, one of the Jonas Brothers who was leaving, and like brush myself off, go stand in line.
Wait a second. Wait, hold on. Wait, you're in the car. It's you. What?
I was like getting out of the car, and then I went around to the back and hopped in to grab a jacket out of the back. And then the driver didn't realize that I was doing that, and so he started to pull away, and I like had to like scram out. And then in doing so, I like had a physical, you know.
All right, I got you a shout out to my boy James. Obviously, you know James Rosenthal. He's in the chat. He says
James, congratulations.
On point. Congratulations to James. Okay, guys, James had a really great idea. He was doing this workout and diet challenge, and to keep himself honest, he video blogged it every day on Facebook. And I think that helps provide a lot of motivation, a lot of accountability when you're doing something like that, keeping it.
I met Flo actually because they lived together in San Diego.
J Rose.
So
shout out to James. All right, so you're at the party.
We're in line, and all the people with wristbands are walking past us, and we're stuck in the peasant line.
How tilted are you? I know you get tilted when anytime someone's walking by you. Anytime someone's got special access walking by you, I know you're just like, I'm fucking.
So everybody in this line, like they're getting up to the front, and security is literally taking girls like behind the arms and like dragging them out, and they're screaming like, "I'm on the list! Like, how dare you?" They just get like thrown off into the abyss. We're in line, and pretty hilarious comment. One of the buddies who I'm with, who's a big going out guy, him and Flo actually work together, and he is a big regular at Park, which is one of the nightclubs that we're at. And so he turns to me, and he's steamed up too for sure that we're standing in this line. And he goes, "Oh boy, this certainly isn't a Park situation now, is it?" Because he shows up to Park and like the cannons go off when he rolls up on the outside. So and we're offering money, trying to tip a bouncer to go get us our wristbands, whatever, and not happening. So we're partway up in this line, and he's like, same guy, Letty is his name. Oh shoot, I forgot my wallet. I don't have my ID. I left it in the back of the car. Some substances there was things that were happening in the back of the car. He was using his wallet. He left it in the back of the car. And the driver is a long ways away at this point, and there is a big line of cars to get in. So I immediately called the driver, "Yo, you got to turn around and come back." Letty left his wallet in the back. And then we're like, whatever, let's just try to get to the front. To make matters worse, Letty isn't even on the list. But one of our other friends who's missing, or who decided not to come to stay with a girl, we're going to try to like somehow get his wristband or whatever. He doesn't have an ID, and they're checking the IDs meticulously. So we get to the front, and Steve, who I don't think we're allowed to say his name, but he had several $1 million plus winning years tracked on PTR back in the Stars days, is a very square, but he doesn't party. Hasn't slept in 48 hours at this point.
Are you kidding me?
I don't think he parties that much.
Okay,
He wanted to call his dad because his dad's a pharmacist, and he was concerned about like taking too many drugs that conflicted with each other. So he's had 5 different types of substances at this point. Well, and he's probably one of the most intelligent people. He's like Albert Einstein. He's smart as heck, and not nerdy, but like very intellectual, and you can tell as soon as you meet him. And so he's trying to come up with me to the counter to handle this wristband situation, and he's massively bumblefucking it. So we somehow double use an ID, and she doesn't check her off the list, and we distract her, and we get a wristband on everybody, and we walk into the festival. So we're inside the festival. It's unlimited food, unlimited bar, carnival rides everywhere. So there's a Ferris wheel, there's the slides, there's the different spinning teacups and all that, and then there's carnival games. So shoot the thing for a stuffed animal. All this stuff is completely free. And then DJ spinning. So I don't know if you know who DJ Politic is, but DJ Politic, A-Track, and one other person, or
So
spinning.
what's the crowd like in this place? Is it
It's all LA hipster scenester douchebags. It's like a bunch of Klingons and then a bunch of other people who, are actually legitimate celebrity type people. And there were a lot. I'm not a big celebrity person. There were a lot of celebrities there. And so we get in, roam around, have a couple drinks. I actually randomly bumped into some people who I'd met at Sundance when I was in Sundance earlier this year. And so hung out with them for a little while. And then those guys, the guys who I was with were friends with Scott Eastwood, who's the son of Clint Eastwood. So Scott Eastwood rolls up and he has bottle service. And so we all go into his bottle service area and we all like kick in. I do get hustled in this spot because the guy, so I'm like, how much is it? Or no, he says like $100 a guy. And I can't tell whether he says $100 or $500. And I don't want to be the guy who's like, oh, $100 a guy or it's 500. So I'm like, yo, Letty, 500. And I go like this, like 500. And he goes, yeah, 500. And at the same time, my buddy Brett says, hey, can you cover for me? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I break off 1,000 and hand it to Letty to give to Scott. Well, come to find out the next day that it was $100 a guy, and Letty had also heard Brett say, can you cover for me, and thought he was talking to him. So I'm out $900, but whatever, it's still fun.
Wait, what? How do you even make them? How do you not like double check? Like, yo, like how much is it? Like, why don't you just ask one more time?
Well, because I didn't want to be I just was like, I did this.
Dude, it's a loud club. You're at a nightclub. You guys are on some substances. Things are flowing. Just double. What did you say? 500 or 100? What did you say? 100?
I didn't want to be the nit, dude. I don't know.
This happened with the worst guy to have it happen with. Because the guy, Letty, will literally make shit up in his mind and believe it to be true. And
yeah, he told me, he had the audacity to tell me that I owed money. And I was like, no, I paid you. And he's like, no, I counted up.
He's not an asshole or anything, but he'll just like make it up and believe it.
Okay,
yeah.
so you're at the nightclub. You're at this carnival, neon carnival. You're at your table.
Outside. Yeah, let me set the setting. You guys can look up pictures. There's pictures all over. It's outside at the thermal airport, and it's on the runway. And the entire runway is taken over by this pop-up party. And so there's grandstands. We get to the table. Scott Eastwood's there. Some of his boys are there. He's partying with Leonardo DiCaprio. So Leo's there.
Wait a second. Leonardo DiCaprio's at the table?
Yes. At the table next to us is Chris Brown and Justin Bieber. At the table below us is Adam Levine, whatever his name is, from Maroon 5.
So you're just like, I got no shot here with women.
There's women everywhere. You know who's there actually is Tory Black. Tory Black was at our table for a while, who's smoking hot.
With a porn star?
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah.
What's your strategy in this situation? There's obviously a lot of women there, but they might not know Asher Burke, the San Diego, So.
No.
Did you conversate with a woman?
What?
Did you conversate with any women there?
Yeah, but not. Yes. Yeah. He's like, do you need more ice?
Hey, can I put more ice in that drink for you in the bottle?
Yeah, she thought I was the busboy, man. No, I mean there were a lot of very, very, very beautiful women, and a pretty good ratio too, to be honest. Because remember, you can't get into this unless you're on the list, and you're on the list if you're somehow supposedly someone in Hollywood or in LA.
Interesting. So you're just looking around. What are you doing the whole time? Are you standing at the table, like looking around? Like, interesting. Like,
well, there's rides, so we're going on rides. There's unlimited alcohol, just bottles keep flowing. And then after 2 a.m., the waitresses are pouring the bottles into those carafes and bringing the carafes out. I don't know.
Is there a lot of substances flowing at this type of party? Is there a lot of people who are?
Yeah. I didn't have. Somebody else had a baggie of stuff, and it was just gone. The next morning, it was gone. apparently all of it had just been like dumped out on the table and consumed by people.
Why at this point in time, why don't you just like go out there and like whatever happens. Like why don't you just try to make get an adventure out of this part?
It wasn't a woman thing. I was having a blast, like, regardless.
Marco says Asher seems on the same level as Tutu Andrew Cool with girls. Okay, my little brother. Oh my gosh, yeah, you're like the girl's like, hey, you want to? No, I can't. Just here.
Just here for the ice.
just here for the ice.
It was, like, honestly, it was just really cool. I'm not a huge celebrity guy, but like, it's cool spot to be in. Obviously, like, I don't live that kind of life normally. So
what time do you leave the party at? You leave the party at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. How do you get home? Driver picks you up, helicopter. How does it work?
Yeah, this is another spot where it would have been super clutch to have a helicopter because we could have just landed right there. No, what we did is we had the driver. Everybody decides to leave. Scott wants to go after party somewhere, so our table disbands. So we leave. The driver ends up making this off-road illegal U-turn to get us out of there, which was incredible. Because some of the people who were at our table did not go with us in that car, and it took them, I kid you not, an additional 3 hours to get home from what it took us. They were just gridlocked in that parking lot. So we left. We went to the house of honestly, we went to the nicest house I've ever been to. Ralph, his cousin, is really, really good friends with that group, and his family is incredibly wealthy, and so their vacation home is in Palm. I've been to a lot of nice houses. This was a ridiculous house. They had an LA Kings hockey player who wants to be a DJ who was DJing the after party. Seems standard, right?
What time was this? Was it like 6 a.m.?
Yeah, 6 a.m.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, Asher. I'm very happy I did not go to Coachella with you because I don't want to get. I'm not trying to. I'm gonna end up married in Los Angeles with 5 girls. I'm okay. Go ahead. Keep going. Continue on.
So then we went back home and we fell asleep and woke up. And I honestly woke up on Saturday Sunday feeling a whole lot better than I did on Saturday morning. Friday I was just dead. I couldn't lift my arms above. I was a wreck. And so Sunday we really didn't do that much interesting. I take it back. We went over to some friends' houses, and across the street was a Justin Bieber brunch party put on by Nylon Magazine. And when we pulled up, there's like helicopters, paparazzi galore, tons of security. And so we're over there. I'm like, I think it'd be cool to go over there. So let's go over there, right? So we go over there, and there's like 50 people in line. Everybody's trying to get in, gets rejected. We get rejected too. And using some party techniques, we go back about 5 minutes later, and we get in.
What does that mean? What does this mean? Party techniques. What's that?
Well, we had a couple different options after I'll give you the best strategy to getting in the parties. This is assuming that they don't check your ID.
Hold on, guys. Get a notebook. Anyone out there, grab a notebook. All right, hold on, Asher. Give it to us.
Okay. You be really friendly.
You do the flow thing where you do the flow at the table strategy. Where
that's good too. Hey. That was
good. Hey, what's up, man? Hey, and you get the big smile. You give him a fucking handshake. You pat him on the back.
Maybe pour in a more boisterous setting. If you're in a less boisterous setting, the best thing to do is just strike up conversation with somebody. And people are a lot more friendly than you give them credit for. And like, you really can't go wrong just being outgoing to people. You don't have to be annoying about it, and then at an early point in the conversation, ask someone for their name. Ask someone for their name and remember it. Because that deepens the personal connection very quickly, especially if you can remember their name and then call them by it at the end of the conversation. But 2, you then know their name. Later on in the conversation, you ask them, so what party are you going to next? Or so where are you going tonight, right? And then they're like, oh, I'm going to XYZ. And then you're like, sweet. And then you go to that party and you say, hi, I'm Shane Smith. And then they're like, oh, Shane Smith. And they let you in. That's like 101 party entry.
Okay, so how did you get into this party? Took someone's name and you went up there and said it, or what?
So this party we get rejected, but she asked me for a text from a number to prove that I was on the list, and so I changed the the person's name was Rembrandt. So then I had one of my buddies text me and say like Asher's approved for the list, and then I changed the contact name to Rembrandt, and then I went back over and showed it. But another basic strategy is to like when they're thumbing through the list to like look at the list and see another name and then go back and say that name. And so we had that option as a backup too.
Okay, so you get into this part like when you're going to these, you know, I mean, I've been in some weird parties. I don't understand. Like these parties are basically for like you're kind of like they're just like I don't know, drug events basically, man. These type of parties.
No, it's not a drug. Well, it's just a Klingon LA socialite thing.
So what are you doing at this party? You just looking around, talking, just hanging out, experiencing the party, or what?
Yeah, I was with less outgoing folks at this party, but I think the best MO would be to like go up to people and start to engage them in conversation stuff. But yeah, we just went to the bar, had a couple drinks. There are people in the pool. There's games that are being played and stuff. And so did that. We weren't there for a very long time. We just sort of popped in to see what it was all about, and then we left and we went to the festival.
So who did you like at the festival? Did you like any of the musical acts?
I got to see like a third of Madeon's set, which I was pretty bummed. Have you listened to the new Madeon album?
I have not. No.
Solid. You should definitely listen to it. It's really good. So I really wanted to see the full Madeon set. I got to see like a third of it, but it was popping for sure. He's so good, and he's so young too. It's really unfair.
So you didn't really see anybody at the festival for the most part. It sounds like you just kind of were wandering around and stuff.
I saw Madeon. It's Cascade. I saw the full Cascade set.
I did too,
which was good. Yeah, did you like that?
I really liked Cascade. I mean, honestly, I just wanted to dance. Like at that point in time, I was so sick of hearing some of these other music that I heard. I just wanted to dance.
Yeah, and that was like one of the few people. I didn't go see the Axel and Grosso set that was on the main stage, so that was the only electronic set that I saw on the main stage. And it was sick because the energy and atmosphere was so much better than that peasant Sahara tent.
The Sahara tent was terrible. Like that was not. Oh well. I mean, I had my best experience at the Sahara tent on the first night Friday during Alesso, but that was pretty. If you went to the other side, the GTO was not to go by the crowded side, was walk around and go on the right hand. Like everyone always like.
But it was like hell getting over there. Did you like it? There was so much shoving towards the back middle as you were sort of like crossing over.
Right. There was another path though. You had to go back around. There was a path directly into the tent. Yeah. No one figured that out. I'm like, what are these people doing? Why are they shoving through? You just walk around and go back that way.
That was like the diciest. It was like going through the tip of the caper of Canaprica or whatever.
I'm going to share some strategy. I shared this with my little brother walking into those big groups. This is what I told him. I was like, listen, I do this all the time when I'm walking in a group like that. Whenever you take a step, plant that foot on each step and tense your fucking tense. This is kind of mean too. Because I took somebody out like this. You're walking and you like you plant this foot and you're just preparing this to take a hit. You're just preparing to get contact. So when someone hits at you, they take the hit. You don't. It works obviously if you've got some muscle, you're bigger. But this girl, man, she was walking. She just ran right into me. She felt like laid out. I was like, you know, shouldn't be running. But yeah, that was my. So during those,
dancing a bunch, and then like you get the other people who you're going through to like dance with you, and then you bust a groove and you like go past them or whatever. Yeah, the one cool thing is my buddy has a dog and he bought fake service tags for it. So this dog came with us to Coachella on the final day, and I have never seen chicks flock to. It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. There's a picture of him holding his dog up. It's a big dog. It's a lab. It's like a 50-pound dog in the front row, just like grooving to Drake.
So basically, we need to get a dog if you want to be.
Dog.
So my favorite set was Flosstradamus because Flosstradamus their crowd is like they play like trappy rap stuff, and their crowd was like so much fun. And my little brother, it's kind of like his music, so I saw he was having a good time, and I think that was my most fun set. I didn't really like too much of the music really.
Yeah.
For the most part. It was kind of like off and on, and being really sober there, and everyone was everyone's so fucked up there. Like, that's kind of incredible. I don't even know where they get all the drugs from. Get that fucked up with that type of thing. I don't know where it all comes from. Everyone there is just so just eyed up, and man, it was an interesting experience.
I'm surprised we didn't run into you. I ran into like a lot of people that I knew at the festival.
Yeah, I didn't really go when it was during the light. I went there late each night. I like 7 p.m., 8 p.m., and then on Sunday I went at 5 p.m.
What were you guys doing during the day at the hotel? Just hanging on your own by the pool or whatever?
Yeah, just got the pool. I worked out a bit. I did some work, and I was trying to stay active at a basketball court at the place I was by too, although I didn't really get to try that out too much.
Okay.
So I was just trying to. I didn't want to go there when it was super hot because it was like 100 degrees during the day. So I just waited towards the night, and plus like Ebony and my little bro, they're like festival noobs. So at like 11:30, they'd get tired. I'm like, all right, like let's stay. The best people are coming on. So I had to stay, with the secret weapon. I had to stay with the secret weapon, and then just like I can't get you know what I'm saying. Sure. What'd you say?
Was Drake good?
No, I love Drake, but a lot of the stuff he played was very singy and slow, so it wasn't that good. I like a lot of his stuff. I know most of his music, but it wasn't like as good as I thought it would be.
Well, he kissed Madonna.
No, Madonna kissed him.
Yeah, I thought he had a special guest too, and his only special guest was Madonna. It just didn't make much sense. I feel like it should be like a hyped up type of set. Like if you listen to like Kanye set, or even like Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg set a couple years ago, it's like a lot of the hits, they play all songs that everybody knows. And here he played a lot of songs that you wouldn't really know unless you're a Drake fan.
Huh. That's disappointing. Now he closes again this weekend, right?
Yeah, I think he closes again on Sunday this weekend.
It'll be interesting to see if he takes the same approach.
Yeah, I didn't read one positive review anywhere anywhere on the internet from his set as well. So I don't think it was just I was pretty surprised. You mentioned you might have I think you mentioned this. You mentioned you might have had fell in love. Did you fall in love at the
No
love. No love was meant to be, huh?
No love.
It's all right. One man, I don't know who's watching this right now. I really put this on my Facebook. I literally don't know who's watching this right now. And
I'll give a shout out to a person who's completely unpoker related, Amy Foster, who I believe you met and was a 2-second appearance on a Sunday Funday episode. Shout out. She said,
on the hidden. What'd she say?
She said your podcast is very funny. Yeah.
I think she probably liked your threesome story.
My threesome fail story.
I think she might have enjoyed the story. So.
Yeah, it's fail. Okay, so we need to talk about.
Well, you got to go on dinner. You say you have a dinner at 7:30 or
6:30. Yeah. Do we need to cut it off? I mean, we have like a lot of GTO strat to share at some point. But,
it's all right, man. We'll come back. We'll be back on. We'll come back next week. We'll get into it. We'll keep this one an hour, and then we'll come back next week. We'll talk some more. Bam. That's it. Talk some more strat.
Good.
That's it. Cool. Asher, thanks for coming out, my friend. Guys in the chat: James, Stuart, Ian Griffin, Bruno, Puppy, Adam. You know.
Later, guy.
All right, Flo. See you later. Asher, playing great. Keep playing, great, my friend.
Yeah, playing great.
Guys in the stream, be back tomorrow night with Clink, Jason Moe. That's it.
Oh, Clink the Sink, dude.
Clink, man. He's coming on. All right.